Sote tuko tayari, Oluga Abida, sote tuko tayari. Pokea, 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 sote tuko tayari.
Sawa, tupokee sasa.
Baba. Mimi ni mkesha.
And a hard place.
Good morning, doctors.
Good morning.
Habari zenyu?
Jama, General.
CBA?
CBA. With
CBA? CBA? Thank you very much this morning for joining us in court. I think in the last 2 months, doctors may have attended court more times than even the regular court users. And it's okay, we are being schooled on the law, but I think we are also schooling people on a few things.
And time management.
This morning, I think we were here again. As you know, we have been subjected to unnecessary court processes, which in essence do not solve the problem that the doctors put on the table. Doctors are still on strike. Today, day 61, that means over 2 months doctors have been on strike. And I think it is not right for anyone in this country, public, government, any organization, to think that doctors would have been on strike for 2 months for nothing. And I want to assure you, doctors, that for us, we respect the law and we will obey what has been put before us in terms of mediation. But I also want to tell you that we went on strike for one thing, right?
Yes.
And that is?
CBA.
So we are very grateful that the court today has given the power to other people. And that power is to implement the CBA. If there is any thought that doctors will go back to work, that's not a solution. In fact, doctors will not go back to work until that CBA is implemented. So we want to tell all the authorities that have been given the power by the court, and we know and we've engaged them, and we want to appeal to them and all Kenyans that the solution is the implementation of
CBA.
and that we have to negotiate in good faith. We have been subjected to very dishonest and a very callous argument from many agencies in government whose only bargaining tool is that doctors should go back to work. Hao wenyewe hawana utu, hao wanataka madaktari wakuwe na utu. Na sisi tuko na utu. Hao ndio wamekosa utu. Kwa sababu hao wamezoea to defend the constitution and they are violating the constitution. But as you have seen over the last 2 months, and you doctors, we've told you, unaona hii mambo ni hot potato. Sasa msijali hata siku 7 ikifika na bado hatuna solution. When there is no deal, there is no deal. When there is no deal, there is no deal. Okay? Sasa? Yes. Na sisi tumejua when there is a deal. Si ni ukweli? Yes. Sasa there will be no going back to work when there is no deal. So we are just telling these people and we are appealing to them, the Kenya National Commission for Human Rights particularly, because we have engaged with them extensively. And we are having the same interest in terms of ending human suffering. That is what we trained to do as doctors. We didn't train to come and stand outside Milimani law courts and address people. Yes. We trained to treat. And we are proud to do that. And we will be back to work, but we will be back to work when the demands of doctors are met. Yes. And therefore, in the next 7 days, we as a union will engage again as we have engaged before. Whether they choose one person or 2 people. Sahi hata uchukue tu daktari mmoja kutoka wapi. The message is the same. Sasa wewe kama uko na message yako ingine ya return to work, hiyo hatutaki. Sisi ni So we are requesting the country that we have a window of 7 days. 7 days is too long for those guys who are seeking healthcare in public services and not finding it. 7 days is too long even for us the doctors who have waited for 4 years for our CBA to be implemented, right?
Yes.
If there are people who have been patient, it's the doctors. And therefore, we hope that people will engage in pure good faith. We have engaged, but people come with only one stand, and the government has refused to move at all. Because what we are talking about is an implementation matrix. We have presented over the last 2 months over 7 different scenarios and 7 different ways in which the CBA can be implemented. I think it is not right to force doctors back to work when their demands have not been met. And therefore, today, I want to tell the public that sometimes there are a number of people who speak. Most of those people have interest. We saw some people in the Senate also speaking, si ndio?
Yes.
Na tukiangalia huko nyuma, the first ako na hospitali, lakini hata sio hiyo. Unakumbuka ile NHIF scandal yenye ilikuanga ya kwanza? Sasa sisi tumesema private sector wamekuwa wakisumbua kidogo, na umeona the cartels are bringing their faces now on television, right? Yes. I think right now every single Kenyan know who the cartels are. The ones that are keeping their healthcare expensive, the ones that are making sure that public health sector is not restored back to normal. For us as a union, our stand is very clear. We want a better healthcare system that responds to the needs of the public and that responds to the needs of the doctors. There is no separation of doctors' rights from patients' rights. There is absolutely no separation of doctors' rights and patients' rights. Patients' rights are doctors' rights, and doctors' rights are patients' rights, and they are all health rights. Okay? So there is no greater deed to frustrate the doctor in the name of bringing sanity to the patient. The two are intertwined, and in the next 7 days, that is the message the public must be aware of. For us as a union, we have engaged with goodwill. We shall continue to do so. And for you as the doctors, I want to thank you because mmesimama kabisa. Imara kama KMPD. Tumesimama kwa sababu sisi tunataka sekta ya afya iboreke. Asanteni sana kwa kukuja. After this we shall engage. We have always been engaging, and we know that there shall be a solution. And that solution is not doctors going back to work. That solution is the doctors' demands being addressed. Thank you.